Check 1 2. Check 1 2.
Mr. Sergeant of Arms, invite the members into the chamber and close the doors. I hereby declare the House of Representatives of the 112th General Assembly of the State of Tennessee now in session. Will the members please stand? Will the visitors in the gallery please stand and remain standing through the Pledge of Allegiance? Representative Powers will introduce the chaplain of the day. Representative Powers.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Bill Geisel has been the state minister of the Capitol Commission since 2015 and leads a weekly Bible study here in the legislature. He has been a pastor for 25 years and has led numerous trips to the Middle East, including one that I and many of our colleagues went on in 2019 to Israel. And it was truly a life-changing trip for me and them too. Bill believes that we are a nation that was founded on biblical principles, and the Bible has always been the foundation upon which leadership has sworn into office. Regardless of a political affiliation, the Capitol Commission is convinced that a nation which is governed by these principles is blessed and made stronger. Bill and his wife Cynthia have been married for 32 years, and they have 4 grown sons. The oldest daughter is married, and he and his wife have 1 son and another baby on the way. He is more than just a pastor to us here in the legislature. He is also our friend, Bill Geisel.
Thank you. Thought it would be fitting to read a passage this morning, or a verse this morning, from the Bible that you all received. And since it's in ancient script, I'll do my best not to stumble over it. It's from Galatians 6:9. I have the privilege of ministering to many of you from day to day, from week to week. One of the common themes I'm hearing these days is, I'm tired, and we're just about halfway. So this verse came to my mind as I was asked to share this morning, to pray. Thought that I would encourage you with it. Galatians 6:9, and let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. It's interesting to me as I read that to read the next verse. As we have therefore opportunity, let us do good to all men. Wow. So you get weary. It's easy to be short in spirit. But remember, that's what we're called to, is to do good to everyone, especially to those of the household of faith. Let's pray. Our Father and our King, we thank you for the blessing of what you have called us to do. For these men and women before me and behind me, there's a great task, and it's a noble task. And it's a task that was and is established on this book. And I thank you for their labors, their sacrifices, and I pray for their families who together with them make that sacrifice. I pray that you would protect them. I pray that you would defeat the strategy of the enemy against their best efforts. And I pray, Lord, that you would give them a heart of endurance. Help them look to the privilege and the hope that they will be blessed and they will reap if they do not faint. And I pray that you would give them the depths of courage and character to look upon others, those within their party, those on the other side of the aisle, and say, I am committed in the name of the King of Kings to do good to all men and women. I pray your blessing upon them, upon their deliberations in this next hour and through this day, for your traveling mercies as they return to their homes. In Jesus' name, amen.
Representative Powers.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Representative Powers, hang on, members, 1 second, hang on. I know where we usually go on this, but Representative Powers.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Now it is my honor to introduce sweet song Nashville recording artists, the Roberts Sisters, Anna and Anai, I knew I would mess that up, from my hometown of La Follette, to sing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Representative Powers.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Would you mind coming down to have a quick photo with us? Girls, would you come back and have a
We
quick
can.
photo?
Let's do that, Mr. Clerk, during roll call.
Okay. Roll call.
Mr. Clerk, please take the roll.
Roll call.
Ms. Clerk, please take the roll.
Mr. Speaker, 94 members present.
Let journal reflect Representatives Carr, Cooper, Potts are excused. Next order, Ms. Clerk.
Welcoming and honoring
Representative Wendell and Weaver, you are recognized in the well.
Mr. Speaker, I request that the Sergeant at Arms escort our guests into the chamber.
Mr. Sergeant of Arms, please escort the guests to the well. You are recognized.
Thank you all very much. We appreciate it. For our first number, we would like to invite John Mark Wendell up here to tap dance. He asked us to sing a couple of songs, and the first song we would like to sing for you is one that we did on the Grand Ole Opry just this week for the first time. And as you know, some of you know, we sing country music, bluegrass music, and gospel music as we travel all over the world. This is an old song that's kind of got the Appalachian sound. And I grew up in Gainesboro, Tennessee, in the deep, deep hills. Where's my Gainesboro people? Well, two of you. But this kind of brings us back to the sounds of the hills. It's called Talk About Suffering. Talk about suffering here below, and let's keep a following Jesus. Talk about suffering here below, and let's keep a loving Jesus. The gospel train is coming. Now don't you want to go and leave this world of sorrows and troubles here below? Talk about suffering here below, and let's keep a following Jesus. Talk about suffering here below, and let's keep a loving Jesus. The gospel train is coming. Now don't you want to go and leave this world of sorrows and troubles here below? Oh, can't you hear it, Father? Now don't you want to go and leave this world of sorrows and troubles here below? Talk about suffering here below, and let's keep a following Jesus. Talk about suffering here below, and let's keep a loving Jesus. The gospel train is coming. Now don't you want to go and leave this world of sorrows and troubles here below? Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate that. I'm glad you didn't leave. Well, we have some special guests with us today that are very important people in country music. And right here on the fiddle, she's going to help us sing this as she does on the Grand Ole Opry many times. This is CMA Musician of the Year, Janae Fleener. Would you give her a big, nice round of applause? Janae has had a distinguished career in country music that Darren Vincent and I are very proud of. She's played years for Blake Shelton, and she's played on every kind of record you can think of, and she is Terry Clark, she is dearly beloved by everybody in country, bluegrass, and gospel music, and we're happy you're here to sing with us. This lady right here is one of the reasons that we're here as well. The song we're going to sing for you now is something that, on behalf of all of you guys in the Senate, and thank you very much for voting this song that we're going to sing for you. It's called "I'll Leave My Heart in Tennessee," written by Karen Staley, and you all, thank you very much, made it the state song. We appreciate it very much. Karen has written hits for the folks like, Trisha Yearwood, and Hey Baby, Let's Go to Vegas for Faith Hill. She's written all these great songs. She's an overachiever. But she was my neighbor, and I didn't know her, and I had moved into Brentwood at the time, and she dropped off this basket full of cheeses and sauce and says, "I'm not a stalker, I'm a songwriter, and I love your music." And she had this CD in it, and I pulled this song out called "I'll Leave My Heart in Tennessee." And when I heard this song, folks, it made me remember growing up in Gainesboro in the hills, and it reminded me of singing "How Great Thou Art" in church. And it was just the Tennessee song. And just great lyrics, great melody, Karen. And Darren, I know you would probably like to say a few things about it too. So you're from Missouri originally, but you live in Tennessee, and he loves us better now. You know.
I do. I represent DeKalb County over at the Center Hill Lake. Yeah, Terry Lynn. I'm very thankful and grateful to be a part of Tennessee for the last 27 years. And of course, being in the music business, this is the hub of music in my heart for country music and the music that we do. Bill Monroe and everybody started the type of music that we play at the Ryman Auditorium, and that's the mother church of music, in our opinion. And but it's a wonderful honor to be here today in front of you all, and thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, from us, Karen Staley, the Grand Ole Opry, Springer Mountain Farms, Chicken with Gus Arundel. Thank you so much for making this the new state song, and I hope we can sing it and give it justice this morning.
Red barn roof peeking over a field of yellow. Smell the sweet honeysuckle in the air, hear a milk cow bellow. Tennessee Walker running by, man, he sure is pretty. I feel sorry for those poor folks stuck a-living in the city. And I thank God I'm a native son, but I love this place much as anyone. My soul's going to heaven when they bury me. But I'll leave my heart in Tennessee. Let's hear it, Tennessee. Fieldstones shining like diamonds on the hills and pastures. Things round here move slow, but they're gonna get faster. Bulldogs and farms and fences in the name of progress. Damn those developers, they're cold and heartless. 'Cause when that train starts rolling on down that track, well, what it's hauling ain't a coming back. This land and life will be a memory. And all the things I love about Tennessee, it's in my marrow, it's in my blood, it's who I am, it's what I love. I stay right here every day I could, and my Tennessee life's sure been good. I love the green, green grass of home and the white church steeples, the rivers and the creeks and the colorful people. Nothing like a sunset fading low in a pink sky. Yeah, singing how great thou art with a tear in my eye. Oh, I thank God I'm a native son, but I love this place much as anyone. My soul's going to heaven when they bury me. Yeah, Karen. It's in my marrow, it's in my blood, it's who I am, it's what I love. I stay right here every day I could, and our Tennessee lives sure been good. Yeah, my soul's going to heaven for eternity, but I'll leave my heart in Tennessee. I'll leave my heart in Tennessee. Yeah. Thank you all very much. Have a good day. Appreciate it so much. God bless you. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Woohoo! Awesome. Pop-up video.
Representative Weaver, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Was that not awesome or what? Does that not kick off your weekend, colleagues, as you go back home, when you take the long drive home, some of you that do? Daly and Vincent, they have the #1 gig on RFD. You guys are doing it, and we are so grateful that you're here today, sharing your giftings and your amazing talent. I do want to say something. Karen, would you come over here, please? So back in 1993, this gal was coming into Nashville from Virginia. West Virginia, almost heaven. So she was coming in as a songwriter, and I was doing a new record with Michael Sykes and Tanya Goodman and the gospel group at that time. And we were looking for songs. I had written quite a few of my own on the project, and Karen came in and brought a song called Face to Face. Do you remember that?
Now I do.
Well, the songwriter never forgets the song they write. Sometimes it's a good, where'd Daly go? Sometimes it's a good song, and sometimes it's one we go, ooh, did we really write that?
Love what you're trying to do there, babe.
Yeah, so Karen, would you say a few words? Because again, it's all about the song. If you don't have the song, you ain't got it, right?
God bless you.
All right.
Thank you.
Say something to us, please.
I am a 36-year veteran of Tennessee from West Virginia. And I tell people when God made me a Yankee, he was only teasing. Because as soon as I drove across the line in Tennessee, I just relaxed. And it's like, I just adore it. So actually the impetus of this song came about because I'm not from Tennessee and I feel like I'm from Tennessee because everyone is just so friendly and so wonderful. You go to other places and they're like rude to you. You're like, I'm not used to that. Everyone's so nice in Tennessee. But I was blessed enough to have Jamie and Darren, and not only are they incredible musicians, they're just great friends of mine, great Christian guys. And this is a dream come true for me. I just never even thought something like this could happen. And I just appreciate all of you appreciating my song, and all glory to God for this. Thank you.
Representative Wendell.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And in closing, I just want to say one thing about both these gentlemen. They have got great mothers, and they both respect their mothers because I've watched it personally. That's a fact. And his mother was a state employee for multi-decades and a beautiful, wonderful woman. And a nice dad, too, but wonderful mother. And, anyway, thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I appreciate your time. Thank each of you for being receptive. You've been nice.
We are under welcome and honoring. Leader Lamberth, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, it is a very important birthday today. Yesterday was UT Day on the Hill. And for those of y'all that bleed orange, you should already know that 130 years ago, General Neyland was born. So y'all give a hand clap up to General Neyland up in heaven.
Representative Shaw.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just would like to remind the members who did not get their Bibles to go across the hall to the Senate Library. They've got a Bible over there with your name on it. All of the House members that did not get your Bibles this morning, there's one waiting for you across the hall. Thank you.
Thank you. Let the journal reflect Representative Gillespie is excused. Representative Kumar.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, it really matters who works in our offices and all that they do for you. I'm honored to have with us today my legislative assistant, Kylene Johnson, and our intern, Savannah Beatty. Please rise and welcome.
Deputy Speaker Marsh.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to welcome up in the left balcony up here, Shane Hooper. He's the CEO of our Shelbyville Bedford Partnership, our industrial recruiter, and head of our economic development group. Welcome, Shane.
Representative Parkinson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to welcome, I got a guest in the balcony right here. We call him Dredd. He's in the nonprofit sector here in Nashville. Please make him feel welcome. And Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you and whoever else, John Mark Wendell, Representative Wendell, for bringing this wonderful band here and finally retiring Rocky Top. Thank you.
Representative Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We have some guests in the gallery from the Queen City on the Cumberland, Clarksville, Tennessee. We have Sarah Golden, Ashley Minette, and the world famous Tommy Vallejos. Welcome.
Representative Hawk.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Two things, if I could. As Chairman Dr. Kumar was announcing his assistant and our intern, I want to thank my legislative assistant is in the auditorium as well as in the Shelly Adams. If I by chance do something right when I'm down here, it's because Shelly told me to do it. So let's honor Shelly. Give her a round of applause. And number two, if I could, the group you heard just a few moments ago, Daly and Vincent, they are world renowned. They played and introduced a musical opera, for lack of a better word, called Mortals and Angels on Carnegie Hall, on the stage at Carnegie Hall on January 25th, the year 25th year 2016. And I say that because my daughter was in high school at the time at Greenville High School, and they invited Greenville High School to sing with them on stage at Carnegie Hall. Just an impressive group. And I'll give them a shameless plug if they're still out in the lobby listening. They're going to be at the Niswonger Performing Arts Center on May the 1st in Greenville. If you want to come and listen to their whole show, it'll be well worth it. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Sapicki.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I have a few citizens that came from Murray County to be with us today. First, I have Pastor Bill Adams from Gospel Light Baptist Church right up here. And on this end of the General Assembly, I have Lana Hines, along with Chris Morris from Murray County. We give them a big welcome from Murray County.
Representative Doggett.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have with me today two fine constituents, Mr. Bill and Mr. Chuck Boggs up there in the balcony, and another fella that they found, I guess, on the side of the road. Sapicki's already claimed him, but Chris Morris up there, he's the chair of our local Republican Party in Giles County. Thanks for coming.
Representative Grills.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just want to recognize the Dyer County Choctaws. This weekend, they were competing in the co-ed cheer championship, the world's championship down in Orlando, Florida. And I know Representative Vaughn calls his district the district of champions for the state, but mine are world champions, sir.
Representative Hicks.
Members, if I can have your attention for just a second. On Tuesday, we received some very sad news from back home in Hawkins County. We found out that former Congressman Bill Jenkins' wife, Catherine Jenkins, passed away. And I would ask everyone to please stand. And everyone remembers last year, Will, her grandson, actually interned in the Speaker's office. She was such a great lady. She was actually my high school teacher, but everybody knew her back home as St. Catherine. So if we could have a moment of silence this morning for Catherine Jenkins. Thank you, members.
Representative Vaughn.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I had decided that I would hold my announcement and my honoring today just because the Houston High School cheerleaders did pick up another world title this year themselves for the District of Champions. So I've just been trying not to bore y'all with all of the titles and championships that come out of District 95. But if I must, in order to keep up with the Joneses, I will be here each week just announcing plaudit after plaudit and accolade after accolade that are piling up in District 95. But I appreciate the fact that you reminded me that we did add one more world title to our title chest. But thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Farmer.
Well, as Representative Vaughn said, I just want to follow up with that a little better. District 17, New Center School, 7th, 8th grade boys won the state championship. So that's the District of Champions. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All right, next order, Mr. Clerk.
Introduction of resolutions.
Lear Lambert, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that our resolutions properly filed be introduced pursuant to Rule number 17 and placed on the consent calendar, refer to the appropriate standing committee.
Without objection, so ordered. Next order, Mr. Clerk.
Senate joint resolutions congratulatory and memorializing.
Lear Lambert, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that all Senate joint resolutions congratulatory and memorializing in line with the desk be placed on the consent calendar pursuant to Rule number 17.
Without objection, so ordered. Next order, Mr. Clerk.
Resolutions lying over.
Lear Lambert, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that all resolutions lying over be referred to the appropriate standing committee.
Without objection, so ordered. Next order, Mr. Clerk.
Introduction of bills.
Lear Lambert, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that House Bills 2,888 through 2,894 be introduced and passed on first consideration.
Without objection, so ordered. Next order, Mr. Clerk.
Senate bills on first consideration.
Lear Lambert, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that Senate Bills 1,658, 1,670, 1,680, 1,686, 1,697, 1,700, 1,705, 1,713, 1,717, 1,718, 1,719, 1,733, 1,742, 1,751, 1,752, 1,793, 1,868, and 1,934 transmitted by the Senate be held on the desk pending third consideration of their companion House bills.
Without objection, so ordered. Next order, Mr. Clerk.
Senate bills on second consideration, House bills on second consideration, petitions and memorials, reports from standing committees, reports from select committees, calendars. Mr. Speaker, the House has a consent calendar.
Chairman Zachary, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move passage of the consent calendar on third and final consideration in keeping with Rule 50.
Gentleman moves passage of the consent calendar, probably second. Mr. Clerk, any objections been filed?
Mr. Speaker, no objections filed.
Anyone seeking recognition on the consent calendar? Seeing none. We are voting on the consent calendar. All members favor vote aye when the bell rings. Those opposed vote no. As every member voted, does any member wish to change their vote? Ms. Clerk, please take the vote.
Ayes 93, no nays.
Having received constitutional majority, I declare the consent calendar passed. I object to the motion. Reconsider is tabled. Next order, Mr. Clerk.
Mr. Speaker, the House has a message calendar.
Call up first message, Mr. Clerk.
House Bill 411 by Representative Jernigan, relative to election laws. Mr. Speaker, on January 24, 2022, the Senate adopted Amendment 2 and passed Senate Bill 515 as amended.
Representative Jernigan, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Last session, we passed an amended version of the Tennessee Freedom of Speech Act where we defined what Election Day was, and it was 60 days before early voting. So the Senate got around to doing some work, and they put an amendment on the bill. It doesn't affect anything that we passed last year, but their amendment allows an HOA to adopt reasonable rules, removing a sign after an election. I really don't have an issue with that. So, Mr. Speaker, I concur to go with the Senate amendment.
Representative Jernigan moves to concur in Senate Amendment number 2, properly seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none. Any objection to the question? Seeing none. All those in favor of Senate Amendment number 2, vote aye when the bell rings. Those opposed, vote no. As every member voted, does any member wish to change their vote? Stewart, aye. Lamar, aye. Jernigan, aye. Mr. Clerk, please take the vote.
Ayes 93, no nays.
Senate Amendment number 2, having received a constitutional majority, I hereby declare concurred in without objection. The motion to reconsider is tabled. Next message, Mr. Clerk.
House Bill 211 by Representative Carringer and others relative to education. Mr. Speaker, on February 7, 2022, the Senate substituted House Bill 211 for Senate Bill 520, adopted Amendment 1, and passed House Bill 211 as amended.
Representative Carringer, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. House Bill 0211 was passed in the House last year, which all it did was extend eligibility for the work-based learning student grant program to include students enrolled in a middle college program. What the amendment does that the Senate put on there is we are just changing the date because we passed it out last year and the language was for 21-22, and the Senate, we changed it to where the language now says it's for 2022 through 2023 school year, which starts in July. And with that, Speaker, I move to concur to the Senate Amendment number 1.
Representative Carringer moves to concur in Senate Amendment number 1, properly seconded. Any discussion on the amendment? Seeing none. Any objection to the question? Seeing none. All those in favor of Senate Amendment number 1, vote aye when the bell rings. Those opposed, vote no. As every member voted, does any member wish to change their vote? Stewart, aye. Bricken, aye. Lamar, aye. Campbell, aye. Mr. Clerk, please take the vote.
Ayes 91, no nays.
Senate Amendment number 1, having received constitutional majority, I hereby declare concurred in without objection. The motion to reconsider is tabled. Next message, Mr. Clerk.
Mr. Speaker, that completes the message calendar.
Next order, Mr. Clerk.
Unfinished business.
Unfinished business. Representative Grills, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to withdraw HJR 842 from the committee in the House.
You've heard the motion. Any objections? Without objection, so ordered. Representative Manis, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to withdraw House Bill 2552 from the committee in the House.
You've heard the motion. Any objections? Without objection, so ordered. Leader Lambert.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that House Bill 2304 be heard in the Banking and Consumer Affairs Subcommittee next week.
You've heard the motion. Any objections? Without objection, so ordered. Leader Lambert.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move the rules be suspended for immediate consideration of SJR number 1086.
Mr. Clerk, please read the caption.
Senate Joint Resolution 1086 by Leader Lambert, the resolution to provide for a recess in the proceedings of the 112th General Assembly.
You've heard the caption. Any objections? Without objection, the rules are suspended. Leader Lambert.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And members, a very few of y'all looked up when she said recess. This does not mean we're ending for the year. We have much work yet to do. But on Monday, it is a holiday, so this resolution would say that we are not in session on Monday. With that, Mr. Speaker, I move to concur in SJR number 1086.
Leader Lambert moves to concur in Senate Joint Resolution 1086, properly seconded. Any objection to the question? Seeing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. The ayes have it. Declare concurred in without objection. The motion to reconsider is tabled. Next order, Mr. Clerk.
Announcements.
Announcements. Whoa. Representative Kumar.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, because of the holiday on Monday, the deadline for filing amendments to the Insurance Committee and Subcommittee will be Friday afternoon. Thank you.
Representative Ramsey.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And due to the Monday holiday, the amendment filing deadline for Bills and Health Subcommittee is Friday at 4:30. Thank you.
Thank you. Representative Spicky.
Thank you, Speaker. Members, March 8th will be the last calendar of the Instructional Subcommittee. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Representative Reagan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, the Government Operations Committee will not be meeting on Monday. Any bills that were on notice that you thought were going to be heard on Monday will be heard the following meeting. Again, the Government Operations Committee will not be meeting on Monday. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Representative Vaughn.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In addition to our calendar next week, the Department of Labor and Workforce Development will be presenting a general overview and update of the employment modernization process next week in the Commerce Committee. That is something that no one wants to miss. We expect to see all of you there. Thank you.
Any further announcements? Mr. Clerk.
Mr. Speaker, as several chairmen have announced, due to the holiday on Monday, if you have a bill in committee on Tuesday, the amendment filing deadline for committee will be the close of business Friday. So for all committees on Tuesday, the amendment deadline is close of business this Friday.
Next order, Mr. Clerk.
Roll call.
Roll call. Mr. Clerk, please take the roll.
Mr. Speaker, 93 members present.
Next order, Mr. Clerk.
That completes the regular order, Mr. Speaker.
Leader Gant, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Pursuant to SJR 1086, I move that the House stand in recess until 9 a.m. on Thursday, February 24th, 2022.
Without objection, the House stands in recess till 9 a.m. on Thursday, February 24, 2022.